Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this BBC Trending Facebook Live. My name is Harry Lowe, and I'll be guiding you through the next 20 minutes as we discuss a very relevant topic for young women in the digital age. Alongside me is Samantha, and she has been subjected to some unfortunate abuse online, and she has reacted in a very unusual way. So what we're hoping to do is hear from you, the audience, and we're going to put your questions for Samantha through my phone. So I will be looking down at my phone at various points. That's not because I'm not interested in what you have to say, Samantha, but because I want to hear questions from you, the audience. So post them in the line below here, and we'll get as many of them as possible to Samantha in the next 20 minutes. But first of all, Samantha, tell us a bit about yourself and what's happened to you.
So basically, I'm 30 years old. I've been in a relationship for 3 years, and I was the recipient of an unsolicited picture of a gentleman's genitalia, basically. I commented on, I gave a review of a cafe 6 months ago or something, and then I got a comment on that review saying, please check your DMs. I need your opinion on something. So I checked my DMs, and it was just... that.
And what was your immediate reaction when you first saw that?
It was just kind of shock. It's kind of expected with the territory with internet dating. I know that sounds terrible, but guys know that girls are looking for something and, they hope it might be them. But it was just so out of nowhere. I was just shocked and a bit humiliated. I didn't ask for that.
And what you did in response has actually gained quite a lot of traction on social media, and particularly on Facebook. Do you want to just tell people what you decided to do about this?
So I thought I would fight fire with fire. He sent me pictures of penises. I had that anonymity that nobody would ever call him out on it and post it publicly. And I just thought, well, I'm going to. But I did... From there, I did let it go, and that if he had have apologized, I would have changed my mind, but he didn't. Once the conversation was over, I went to sleep for 8 hours. I woke up. He wasn't blocked or anything. He still hadn't changed his mind, decided to apologize, so I did what I did.
And what happened next? How have people responded to this decision you made to post all these pictures and the whole conversation, in fact, on Facebook?
Well, initially it was just my friends, and they were just like, oh my God, this is hilarious. And then they started sharing it, and then I started getting messages in my inbox from people all around the world just telling me that I was amazing, I was their hero, that it was about time someone stood up and did something, and this is how they're going to react next time they get a picture like this. And I've been absolutely inundated. I've got 500 friend requests. I've got so many messages from all over the world, from Germany, America, Mexico, Aruba, which I had to Google. Apparently that's a country. Just everywhere. And everyone's just I've not had a single negative response-ish.
Okay, well, yeah, I was just going to ask you, actually, have you received any kind of unwanted attention or anything of a similar nature?
Sadly, I did get one. One gentleman thought that was the prime time to send me another picture of their genitals. So I didn't respond to that one. I thought, he thought he knew again what I was going to do, and I didn't dignify that with a response. I just ignored that one.
And what... if you can think back to when you decided to post it, what were you hoping to achieve when you did this?
I was just hoping that people would realise that, A, it's wrong. I was hoping that they'd realise it was wrong and stop doing it because it's wrong. But maybe they would stop doing it just because you might get called out on it. It can happen. Girls don't have to just be quiet and accept it and ignore it and pretend it's not happening and, just let these types of men invade our space. We can do something about it.
Thank you for sending all your questions in, folks. We've had a few come through already. The first one comes from BT Kaminsky, and they ask, what would you recommend as a reaction?
Obviously the initial one of just sending them back. These guys don't want to see anything like that. I don't know if I would go... it depends. You need to stay safe first, obviously. So it depends how you feel, with your online safety and your personal safety as to whether you name and shame. But absolutely call them out on it if you can. Don't let them get away with it.
And I'm just interested to know, really, also do keep sending us your comments. We're keen to put as many of your questions to Samantha as we possibly can. But I'm also keen to know what your hopes are for the future and whether we get to a stage where this isn't happening so often, if at all.
My ideal scenario, the way this would play out, I have 2 little nieces and a goddaughter, and I hope that one day they decide to Google my name and they find me as the No More D-Pics girl, and they say, what? Guys used to send pictures of their penises on the internet? That's insane. And they've never even heard of it. It's just not a thing anymore. It's just not something you do because it's just the same as doing it in public.
So just to remind you guys, we're here in central London. We're at the top of the BBC. We're on the 7th floor. We have Regent Street in the background, and I'm here with Samantha. Samantha was sent some inappropriate pictures online by a man that she did not know, and she has gained a lot of interest in her response to that, which was to send lots of inappropriate pictures back to this man. So we're just talking to her, and we're asking you to send questions to her about what you would like to find out about how she reacted to that. So Samantha, just tell us a little bit more about kind of some of the responses, some of the more positive responses you've had from women and men.
Yeah, so it's been about 60% women, 40% men, which is just amazing. I've had lots of guys apologizing on behalf of men everywhere, which is really a shame. It's not them, and it shouldn't reflect badly on all men, because it's not all men. It's just these horrible guys that just think that they have that right to invade women's spaces. But I've had, actually the best one I had, this one stands out and it's really sad, is a gentleman sent me a message saying that it was reading my post was the first time he smiled since he lost his friend in the Orlando shootings. And I didn't respond to every comment, but I had to respond to that one. That one just really touched me that, in something so horrible, he could find a way to laugh at something else kind of horrible. So, but I kind of feel a bit like Beyonce, and everyone's like, yes, queen, and slay, and apparently I'm hilarious. I'm not in real life, but online apparently I'm hilarious, which is what a lot of people have been telling me. Trying to think of, I've had a lot of people sending me screenshots of what they've sent to this gentleman. They've been sending him photos of like Dick Tracy, Dick Van Dyke, Richard Nixon, cans of spotted dick, like all just stuff like that. So it's all been a bit crazy, but yeah, everyone's so supportive.
For those of you just joining us, we're presenting this BBC Trending Facebook Live. I'm here with Samantha, and we're on the top of a roof in central London. We're asking you to send your questions in and to find out what you would like to ask Samantha about her experience online. Samantha, when the dust settles and you've had time to reflect on this, it's been a whirlwind 72 hours or so. What do you think your reflections will be?
I'm just going to hope that I made a little difference somewhere, that, if a couple of guys think, actually, I might not send that because A, it's wrong, B, I don't want to be, the next publicly shamed martyr of sending inappropriate photos. And I hope that some women somewhere will have the strength and the courage to stand up to them and, either fight back and call them out on it, or if they dare, publicly shame them for their behaviour.
Would you describe this as a form of sexual harassment?
Oh, what the gentleman did to me?
Yeah, what happened to you?
Absolutely. It did happen to me in real life. I had someone sit next to me in a library when I was 15 wearing my school uniform, and he just started pleasuring himself beside me in the library. And I didn't do anything. I knew it was wrong. I was absolutely horrified, and all I did was shift slightly and not look. And I felt the same way when I saw that as I did this. It was completely invading my personal space. It was not warranted at all, and it's exactly the same. So what I did then, what I should have done when I was 15, and I just pointed and screamed.
I'm just wondering, given that that's happened to you and this latest experience, do you think the law should be changed in any way to counteract this kind of behaviour?
I really do. I mean, I don't know how it would work in all actuality, but I definitely think that there has to be some kind of law against doing. I mean, you can't do it in person. You can't just, walk up in the middle of Wembley Stadium and flash yourself. So why can you do it online?
Thank you, Samantha. For those of you just joining us, this is a BBC Trending Facebook Live. We're here in central London on the 7th floor of the BBC's Broadcasting House, and we're asking you to send in your questions to Samantha. Samantha received an inappropriate image from a man she did not know at the weekend, and she responded by sending him a barrage of inappropriate messages in response, and her decision to share that with the world has been widely praised. So we're just asking you to ask Samantha what you would like to know about how this experience has been for her, and also what kind of things you would like to see changed in the future. Samantha, I'm just looking at the some of these questions coming in for you. What do you think? What do you think will change as a result of what you've done?
I would really hope that someone somewhere might look at the laws. Like, I know there's international legalities and stuff, but I hope that someone will look at it. I know there is a petition going on to change the laws. I also would like Facebook to take a stronger stance against the sort of men that do this. I know I've been punished for it by Facebook, but I know for a fact he hasn't, and I'm not the first person he's done it to, and I just feel that's absolutely abhorrent.
We just had a question coming from Lauren Jones. Thank you, Lauren, for getting in touch. What's the solution? Sometimes I feel like as long as technologies exist, such as Snapchat, where you can remain anonymous, what's to stop people sending these pictures in?
Yeah, that's a sad one. I just wish the mentality would change. And I think that's what's got to change for things like Snapchat. I mean, Facebook can make the rules, and Instagram and all that, but something like Snapchat and where it's anonymous, it just has to be an attitude shift, I think.
You talk about an attitude shift. How do you think you get to a position where we are changing and shifting our attitudes?
I think with just people fighting back and people having this discussion, guys knowing that A, girls don't like it, B, they may be called out on it, and just I wish I could solve it like that, but yeah.
We had Phil Davis, who's got in touch with us. Thank you, Phil. He says, I think people make too much of it. It's a photo which can be deleted very easily in Europe. And in Europe, nudity is nothing when there are mixed showers. So he's kind of suggesting that this isn't perhaps as a bigger issue as you might have made out. How do you respond to that?
I mean, I can absolutely see where he's coming from, but I think the difference is that when you go somewhere into a mixed shower, you know what you're prepared for. There's also just that whole attitude of I'm here to shower. When I go onto Facebook, I'm here to talk to my friends and my family. I'm not here to see someone's penis. And if that's what you want to do, there's places on the internet you can go, but where it's a public forum, it should be treated like you are in public. You should be aware of what sort of content is going to come your way. You should consent to it. It should basically be consent.
Thanks, Samantha. There's a lively debate happening below the line. Thanks for getting in touch with us here on this BBC Trending Facebook Live. We want to hear your questions. We want to ask Samantha what she thinks about your thoughts, and we're keen to hear, for those of you just joining us, more about Samantha and her decision to turn the tables on a man who sent her some inappropriate images. She responded by sending a stream of those to the man who sent them to her, and she's publicised that, and the response, as she's been telling us so far, has been overwhelmingly positive, although she has received some inappropriate content since then. We've got another comment here. Thank you very much, Louis Quintana, for getting in touch. It is indecent exposure, which is an illegal offence. It should be as simple as taking your phone records or phone to a police department and filing a civil complaint. Social media is not outside the law.
I absolutely agree. Of course, it can't be something that's just, oh, here's this picture, I've got the screenshot, you should go arrest him or fine him or whatever happens. I mean, people getting drunk, they could grab their friend's phone. Like, it's something that should be investigated, and it should be taken seriously. But I absolutely agree, there should be some way that you can report it and someone to take it seriously.
Thanks, Louis. If you too want to get involved, then do send us your questions. We're here live in central London for this BBC Trending Facebook Live, and we want to hear your questions and we want to hear your contributions to the debate about this very topical issue and very relevant issue in the digital age. My name's Harry Lowe, and I'm here with Samantha. Samantha has been receiving a lot of attention on Facebook for her decision to publicise an inappropriate image that was sent to her, and she's been trying to raise awareness of this by posting that online. I just wondered, sort of throwing it ahead to the future, do you think this kind of thing is likely to continue happening?
Not if women shame them, not if the men I mean, not if they're never going to know that that's what the woman's going to do, but if they suspect it could be something that they're going to do, like, you'd think twice about it. Like, no one wants to be publicly shamed for this sort of behavior, and the only way to be sure that you're not publicly shamed for this behavior is to not do it. So that's what I would like.
Yeah, good point. Subscribe if you want to see more of BBC Trending Lives, and don't forget you can visit bbc.com/trending, where you'll see more about this story from midnight tonight.